It's raining. It's also a Monday morning. Not a bad way to start the working week, is it? On the canal, doing some fishing. I didn't set the alarm this morning. I woke up naturally, 5 a.m. Went downstairs, made a flask, loaded the car, and here I am on the local canal. I'm going to have 2 hours this morning. I was supposed to be at a game at Liverpool's training centre. I've been there 3 times before. It's a lovely setup, as you can imagine. However, at the last minute, which was yesterday, the game was cancelled, which meant that I rearranged my plans. I'll still be working today, but working from home. Got stuff to do there. Hence, I can have this session, a previously unplanned one, on the canal. I made a flask. This is my first cup of tea of the day. Always very welcome indeed. I've put some brown crumb and mixed maggots out there. I've got a couple of white maggots on the hook. I've been using those for perch recently and with good effect as well. Been very, very positive. We tend to go for red, don't we? But I've just been using white. I don't know why. I was fishing with white maggots, been catching perch, and I've continued along that theme. I'll be waiting for the first bite and I will be back with, let's play the guessing game, a perch, a small perch. That's my prediction for the first fish. And I'll tell you what, this rain's coming down quite heavy now. I've got trees over me. That's taking a lot of the sting out of the rain. But as I look along the canal where it's a little bit more open, certainly raining fairly heavily this morning, which was the weather forecast as well. Do the garden good though, won't it? My second fish, also the second species, is a very nice surprise. See that there? It's not very good conditions at the moment for filming. It's quite dark. It's a rough. It's almost like dusk as opposed to the opposite end of the day. I do show the gear that I fish with on a regular basis, but of course there's always someone watching a video for the first time, so for the benefit of anyone in that position, I've got a small Shimano reel. That's a 3500 reel, and that's a Gray's Prodigy TX 12 feet float rod, and I've got 4-pound Maxima Chameleon, and that goes right the way through to the hook, which I'll show you in a moment or two. That's a small, and I'll hold it so you can see the comparison, and it's in my hand. That's a small 0.6 gram Drennan Waggler. A couple of shot either side to hold it in position, just nipped on very lightly. I can move those no problem at all. The shot is fairly even down the line as well, and I often talk about that, the little anchor shot. That's important on a day like today because it's quite breezy. There's a little chop on the surface, so the float's being dragged across, so I need that shot, just a small one, but enough to anchor the bait on the bottom. And there we have the double maggots that I've referred to earlier, and the size 14 Drennan Super Specialist hook. My rod is actually made up, so this is my standard canal approach, but it works. You don't need to keep tinkering with things and messing about with stuff. If it works, that's good enough for me. Right, that's back out. Let's make another cup of tea and get the iPhone back underneath the umbrella. They're not very good. Well, I know some of the modern ones are waterproof, but this one is a few years old, not very good in the rain. However, doesn't bother me, and that's the most important thing. Although you could say even more important than that is it doesn't bother the fish. They're wet already. Just go fishing whatever the conditions are. Another small one. It is the third fish of the session though, in terms of species, a bream. I've had a very enjoyable couple of hours on the canal. This will be my last cast. Mind you, what's the point of saying that, because I always have a few more anyway. I'm sure as a fellow angler you appreciate that sentiment. I've had a trickle of fish throughout the session. It's been busy in terms of bites, getting another one now. I've added a gudgeon, so 4 different types of fish, a mixed bag as they say. I have had some roach takes. You can tell from the way that the bait has been sucked, or the lightning quick dip on the float. Not hooked into any of those though, but I am, after all, using a size 14 hook with a couple of maggots. So my stall has been set out for the perch. No big perch though today, but the highlight thus far, and I've had another cast, haven't I, without even thinking about it. The highlight thus far is without doubt the Ruffe. Great fish, aren't they? Whether you catch them by design, which I do fish for them, or by accident, it's always nice to get one on the bank. Anyway, unless I do catch something specific in the next few minutes, I'll be packing away shortly, going home and getting on with the rest of Monday. And I don't know if you are going to be fishing today or during the course of this week, but if you are, tight lines, enjoy, take your umbrella, because I think we do have rain, well certainly in this area, forecast from time to time during the week.